Hello everyone and welcome back to more Umineko When They Cry. So in the last video, everybody finally realised that Maria had been standing outside in the rain for God knows how long trying to find that rose. And apparently Maria received a visit from Beatrice, who offered her an umbrella, which nobody apparently believes, but I find particularly interesting because I'm really excited to finally meet Beatrice. Oh yes, and everybody's about to have dinner as well. Along with a dull pounding on the door, the sound of Kraus's entreaty could be heard. However, that voice seemed to be resigned to the fact that nothing it said would be heard. Well, technically they've all gathered to see his money. Apparently, Kinzo was completely focused on the final battle of his long-lasting chess match with Nanjo. Kinzo's brow was wrinkled as he continued to glare at the game board through his spectacles. He's not wearing spectacles. At least his avatar wasn't wearing spectacles. Kraus's voice didn't reach his ears. He's determined to do it before he dies then, I suppose. Nanjo rose from his seat, hoping this would prompt Kinzo to do the same, but Kinzo's eyes never left the chessboard. He knew well that Kinzo always displayed a blind concentration when it came to chess. But he'd never seen Kinzo concentrate as hard as this. It was almost as though Kinzo was telling the truth, and there would never be another chance for them to continue their contest if they didn't finish tonight. It seemed that no matter how obstinately he called out to Kinzo, it wouldn't reach the latter's heart. Nanjo gave up and headed to the door that Kraus was still banging on. The door to the study opened. Kraus was taken aback, thinking that maybe Kinzo was actually coming out. However, Nanjo was the one who appeared, and Kraus let out a sigh of relief.
Nanjo-sensei, oyaji-dono wa? お役に立てなくて申し訳ございませんが、今や金蔵さんの世界はこの部屋だけです。
Nanjo shook his head with a completely defeated expression. Kraus raised his fist once more and banged on the door, shouting,
お父さん、聞こえますか? 私たちは下へおりますが、気が向かれたらいつでもおいでください。息子兄弟一同、ずっとお待ちしておりますよ。
He doesn't really seem all of that eager to see any of you though, if I'm honest. His voice was very loud, and he was making a racket pounding on the door. There was no way it wouldn't reach Kinzo's ears. Well, it certainly was reaching him, but he ignored it anyway. However, unlike the time he'd been called down for lunch, he didn't fly into a rage. By now, Kinzo was calm at heart, almost as though he had taken on a philosophical view and turned himself over to fate.
息子たちの顔にも興味はない。私がここを出るのはベアトリーチがよみがえる時か、私が鍵の生贄に選ばれた時だけだ。もう悪魔のルーレットは回っている。今さら晩餐に何の意味があろう。
I don't know, food always has a point to me. It's my second love. As though the painfully loud banging on the door completely failed to enter his hearing, Kinzo silently thought about his next chess move, still in his philosophical state. Just as always, Kinzo's figure couldn't be seen anywhere in the dining room, or even the dining hall. Kraus, wearing a bitter smile, returned with Nanjo.
親父殿は相変わらずご気分が優れられないそうだ。
He's not smiling at all there.
年に一度の親族が集まるこの機会に同席できないことを非常に残念がられておられた。
And I doubt that he has any of that sort of sentiment. Ava and Rudolph sniggered. Given Kinzo's personality, there was no way he'd show signs of regret. And none of his relatives showed any regret at his absence.
ではディナーを始めようじゃないか。ゴーダ、始めたまえ。
かしこまりました。それでは始めさせていただきます。
When Goda was told to start the family conference dinner, his biggest time to shine of the whole year, he nodded with a broad grin.
マリアに傘を貸してくれた人は誰かしら?
Maria already said it was Beatrice. Can you not listen, Rosa? When Rosa timidly cut through the silence of the dining hall, everyone noticed.
傘? 何の話? さっきマリアがバラ庭園にいた時に雨が降り出して誰かに白い傘を借りたみたいなんだけどお礼が言いたくて。
俺たちじゃねえぜ。ローザが出てった後は部屋を移してずっと仲良くおしゃべりをしてたからね。
はは、そうやで。あの後も兄弟で仲良くおしゃべりをしとったのや。
The word friendly fell awkwardly from Hideyoshi's lips, so even those who hadn't been present could tell the conversation hadn't been a pleasant one.
少なくとも私とエヴァとルドルフと、あと秀吉さんとキリエさんではないことも確かだがね。
私たちは夏日姉さんとローザさんが出て行った後もずっと一緒だったわ。食事の時間までずっとね。
兄さんは源氏さんと一緒にお父様を呼びに上の書斎へ。私たちはそのまま食堂へ直行したもの。だから私たちではないわね。傘を貸すなんて親切、使用人の誰かじゃないの?
I'm guessing the children aren't here yet because I'm pretty sure Maria would be voicing her objection right about now.
じゃあ、ゴーダさん?
私はずっと厨房で準備をしておりましたもので、申し訳ございません。
Goda looked slightly disappointed about missing this chance to show off. He could have just claimed all of the good vibes. At that time, Shannon and Kumasawa appeared, pushing a serving cart loaded with hors d'oeuvres.
じゃあ、熊沢さんかシャノンちゃんかしら。はい。何か粗相がございましたでしょうか?
Oh, poor Shannon, she's always worried that she's done something. Because Shannon had come in part way, she shrank back, mistakenly thinking that the others were searching for the one responsible for some error.
違うよ。マリアちゃんがバラ庭園に一人でいた時に雨が降ってきてね。誰かが傘を貸してくれたんだよ。ローザおばさんがその人にお礼を言いたいって言うのさ。
おー、ベアトリーチェ。
Maria, her mouth a thin line, said the witch's name in a small voice. Aunt Rosa explained the situation one more time. As she did, Kumasawa-san cackled.
私たちでもございませんよ。私もシャノンさんも一緒にお部屋の準備をしておりましたから、お外には出ておりません。
One of the servants should just take the credit.
はい、気が利かなくてすみません。
部屋の準備とは何のことかね。
この雨ですから、客人の皆さんがゲストハウスにお帰りになられるのも大変かと思って、使用人たちに 屋敷内の客室の準備をするように命じたのです。あら、気が利くじゃない。そうね、この雨の中表に追い出すのは失礼だものね。
もう予算か。
はい、奥様からそのようにご指示を受けまして、私と熊沢さんとカノン君も3人で準備をしておりました。そしてご夕食の時間になり、源氏様からゲストハウスのお子様方をお呼びするようご指示をいただいたため。
ですからカノンさんがゲストハウスに行かれる時にマリアさんを見つけて傘をお渡ししたのではありませんか？
No, he kept the umbrella for himself, the selfish person. It was Beatrice, damn it! The person who had actually received the umbrella denied it. Rosa was troubled. All she wanted to do was give a word of thanks to the person who had lent the umbrella, but she couldn't find them. And she thought asking like this with everyone gathered for dinner would work immediately.
じゃあ夏日姉さん、
ごめんなさい。私は皆さんとの仲良くの語らいの後、頭痛がですから表へは出ていません。
なら誰なの？ジョージ君たち？なわけないわよね。
いえ、僕たちじゃありません。僕たちはずっとゲストハウスでテレビを見てました。
むしろ私たちは、マリアはおばさんと一緒に屋敷に行ったとばかり。
そこへカノン君が来て、マリアは一緒じゃないのかと聞いたんで、初めて屋敷にはいないのかって分かったんだよ。第一俺だったら傘を貸すより先に手引っ張って屋根の下に連れて行くぜ。
Rosa was completely baffled. One by one, the relatives and the servants denied that they had done it, even though it really wasn't something anyone would need to hide. I mean, she could at least pretend to believe Maria a little convincingly, because Maria's probably really upset about the fact that nobody believes her. So by process of elimination, the number of remaining candidates wasn't large.
もちろん私でもありませんが、雨が降り始めてすぐの頃、金蔵さんの部屋を訪ねて、ついさっきまで一緒にチェスをしておりました。
ということはおじい様でもないよね。
なんだ妙な話になってきたぜ。あと残るのは誰だ？
じゃあ誰？源氏さん？ちょっと待って、勘違いしないでくれる？別に私は何かの犯人探しをしてるんじゃないのよ。雨の中のマリアに傘を差し伸べてくれた人に母としてお礼が言いたいだけなの。
Well, you're the one that's making the conversation all serious. So anybody would think that they'd done something wrong. Giving an umbrella to a girl loitering in the rain was something to be praised, not hidden. Despite that, no one raised their hand. Why not? Everyone started whispering about how strange this was getting.
落ち着けよ、ローズ。傘を借りた本人に聞けばいいじゃない。
That's what everyone had been thinking since the beginning. They were all scratching their heads at why she didn't just ask Maria, who had been given the umbrella. However, Rosa bit her lower lip. After all, she already knew how Maria would answer if asked.
どうりや。ルドルフ君の言う通りやないか。マリアちゃん、おじさんに教えてえな。マリアちゃんに傘を貸してくれたのは誰や。
The dining hall was wrapped in silence for an instant, but it was soon interrupted by a burst of laughter.
なるほど。森の魔女ベアトリーチェが不憫に思って傘を貸してくれたか。いい話じゃないかね。 どうぞ、そういうことだ。
Beatrice just needs to turn up now, just to stop this banter right here. Rosa couldn't believe it. Even though she just wanted to say thanks for the umbrella, why did everything have to be so clouded in smoke? Oh, Kraus. Don't worry guys, I am going to fix this at some point, but I just haven't had the time recently, so bear with me a bit longer.
それはよかった。無垢だというのは実に羨ましいことではないか。なあ、諸君。
Kraus was laughing with a face that was clearly mocking. But Maria was overjoyed, apparently convinced that her claim was being believed. Or just a blonde woman that looked slightly like the portrait turned up with an umbrella. Though to be honest, who else would be on the island that belongs to the Ushiromiya family? Jessica asked me in a small voice that wouldn't carry over to Maria, who was sitting across from me. It seems like she's deadly serious to me. If we'd heard that kind of story pop out of my old bastard's mouth, we would have just taken it as another joke. However, it was hard to explain it away like that when Maria said it. This was getting pretty unnerving. Aunt Rosa probably knew that better than anyone. It appeared that because of this weird situation, she had no idea what was going on anymore. Maybe it was someone in the family dressing up like Beatrice just to mess with her. Oh my god, it would be hilarious to see Genji, like super serious Genji, dressing up as a woman to give someone an umbrella. Jessica shrugged jokingly, but her expression didn't completely match her attitude. Once the hors d'oeuvres were set out and Goda showed off his vast store of knowledge, the meal began. A couple casual chats broke out here and there, but they seemed somehow distant. And the meal ended up being so quiet that you couldn't ignore the sound of the rain sneaking into the dining hall. Kumasawa and Shannon, pushing the serving cart, ran into Genji and Cannon on their way back to the kitchen.
Genji-san desu ka? Maria-sama ni kasa o kasareta no wa?
Kasa? Nanda?
I can picture it now. Just this particular expression with this ornate blonde wig and really super frilly girly dress. It's perfect.
雨が降り出した時にマリア様は一人でバラ庭園におられたそうで、そこでどなたかに傘をお借りになったそうなのですが。
So is Shannon invisible? Because usually they show the person that's talking.
それがどなたかわからないのです。
僕じゃないよ。マリア様はゲストハウスにいると思ってたくらいだからね。バトラ様が最初に見つけられた時にはもう白い傘をお持ちだった。
申し訳ないが、それは私でもない。
じゃあまさか親方様。
Both in the dining hall and right here, everyone had stated that they hadn't done it. That left only Kinzo, but...
何かのご用で廊下を歩かれている時、偶然バラ庭園に傘もささないマリア様が見えたとか。
親方様はマリア様のことをあまりお好きではない。
Yes, she was offensive to the eyes, as I recall.
同感だね。親方様がマリア様のために直々に開花までお越しになって傘を持ちくださるとは考えられないよ。
ではマリア様に傘をお貸しになられたのは本当にベアトリーチェ様ってことに？
Kumasawa laughed, just like the relatives in the dining hall who had laughed it off. She couldn't think of any other way to break through the smoke veiling the current situation. Just then, the crisp sound of hands clapping twice rang through the hallway. They all turned around at once to see Goda coming out of the dining hall.
さあさあ皆さん、ディナーは配膳のタイミングも大事です。すぐにスープの配膳に取り掛かってください。源氏さん、彼女らは大切なお仕事中ですのでお引き止めになられないでください。
Canon glared at Goda for being rude to Genji, a person Canon respected. Genji, realizing this, patted Canon once on the shoulder as a warning. Canon reluctantly turned away and returned his expression to normal.
ゴーダの指示に従いなさい。今は晩餐の配膳を急ぐよう。
ほらほら、時間がありません。タラタラしない。急ぎますよ。
I do feel like Goda is particularly rude. Goda grabbed the serving cart from Shannon and steadily pushed it towards the kitchen.
では私どもも厨房に戻らせていただきます。ゴーダさんも気の短い方ですからね。
私もこれで失礼いたします。
Kumasawa and Shannon left. Only Genji and Canon remained. Through the window, the darkness of the rainy night could be seen, along with the occasional thunderbolt.
源氏様、ベアトリーチェ様が本当にお戻りになられたのでしょうか。親方様にお知らせしますか。
せずとも本当にお戻りになられたのだ。まずは親方様の前で現れるように。そう、あれは気まぐれが多かった。親方様にご報告申し上げただけでお姿を現されないことに何の意味もない。
親方様の儀式はすでに始まっているということでしょうか。
そう。それは我ら家具には何の関わりもない。
It has everything to do with you guys. He's offering you as sacrifices.
親方様にとって最後の瞬間まで死する。
それが僕たち家具の務めです。
The thunder crashed once more. Except for those instants where lightning lit up the sky, nothing could be seen out of the window but the darkness of night. Just as humans rule when the sun is up, those that are not human rule when the sun is down. The darkness of night that now surrounded Rokkenjima was ruled by another master, not the Ushiromiya family. Did this master take pity on Maria when she was alone and being pummeled by the rain in the rose garden, lending her an umbrella? Canon looked at the rose garden's lights, dimly visible beyond the window. The dim lights weren't enough to illuminate the surrounding area. Looking at those lights felt like making eye contact with the witch, and Canon forced himself to avert his gaze. If he didn't, it felt like his eyes would be absorbed by that light. Okay guys, well that seems like a good time to end the video. So, it appears that Beatrice has made an appearance, or at least we can assume so, because nobody has deigned to lend Maria an umbrella. I'm super excited, I just want to get to the bits where she turns up and everything goes crazy. Oh my gosh. I hope it happens next episode so badly. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. And until next time guys, goodbye!